Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about 10 tips for learning to drive a manual car. Anyone that has learned to drive a manual car will tell you that it can be nerve-wracking at the beginning, fun and nerve-wracking. And these tips are designed to help you learn how to drive manual faster, safer, and just be a better manual driver, because the tips will continue even once you're an experienced manual driver. These tips will help you. Now let's get right to it. Tip number 1 is to find the biting point of the clutch. Now the biting point of the clutch is very, very important when driving a manual car. How do you find the biting point? Well, it's actually fairly simple. You want to get on a flat surface. You want to get your right foot and release it from the brake and the gas. You want your right foot just basically doing nothing. You're on a flat surface, let's say in a parking lot or somewhere where there's no other cars around. You want to start with your left foot and you want to have the clutch fully pressed down and slowly release the clutch until you feel the cars start to inch forward. That's the biting point of the clutch. Now I promise you, if you know the biting point of the clutch and if you know how to use it to start in first gear, learning how to drive manual is going to be so much easier and so much better, and you're going to have much more fun when you learn how to do it. Tip number 2 is don't worry about the tricks yet. Now, yes, that's right. There are some tricks for driving manual. You know, you can rev match downshift, you can double clutch, you can skip a gear when you're downshifting or even upshifting. You can go from second to fourth, fourth to second. There's lots of little tricks, and believe me, they're cool and they're fun. Like, there's nothing that sounds better than just hearing a nice car with an awesome driver just rev match downshift. It just sounds amazing, but don't worry about those tricks yet. Believe me, there will be time to learn those tricks, and they're fun and they're really, really awesome. But don't worry about that. When you're learning how to drive manual, just focus. Starting in first, stopping effectively, upshifting, and downshifting. That's all that you need to know. That's all that you need to learn, okay? Tip number 3 is to learn how to brake properly before going into traffic. Now, most people learn how to drive manual in an empty parking lot. Obviously, there's no other cars, no pedestrians. They just learn how to drive manual in an empty parking lot. And then they make the progression to going in onto side streets and main roads with traffic. Before you do that, learn how to brake properly. I want you to literally brake like 50 times in a parking lot before you go onto a main road, until you know exactly how to brake. Because you know what? If you stall the car when you're trying to start in first, if you over rev or under rev when you're shifting in traffic, it's not really a huge deal. But if you don't brake properly, you can get into a serious accident. And with that being said, learn how to brake properly before you even think about going onto a side street or a main road with other cars and pedestrians around. Tip number 4 is to master clutch control. Now, clutch control can be used basically every time they use the clutch, okay? You can use it to creep forward. You can use it to move forward very slowly, quickly. You can use it when you're shifting gears, when you're starting in first. You can use it when you're reversing, but clutch control is a huge deal. So what I suggest that you do is just practice focusing only on the clutch. You want to get the gas and press it at a certain level and focus on that clutch, bringing it in and out to figure out, how far you need to bring it out, how far you need to push it in. You just want to figure out how to use clutch control properly, because it will really help you in being a smooth driver. It'll upgrade your smoothness as a manual driver significantly. Tip number 5 is don't be worried about hill starts. I remember being there, okay? When you're learning how to drive manual and you have to start on a hill, you're sloped backwards and you have to start on that hill, like your heart is pounding and you're so nervous because there's probably like a 70% chance you're gonna stall the car, and the other 30% chance is basically spinning the wheels. Don't worry about it, okay? You will master hill starts, and there are techniques and tips that will help you, but don't worry about it. If you stall on a hill, okay, just make sure that you press the brakes so you're not rolling back. Okay, if you spin the wheels, don't worry, it's not going to ruin the car, doing it a few times. So just don't worry about it, because the anxiety and the nerves that are kicking in will reduce your chances of doing a hill start effectively and properly. Tip number 6 is that practice makes perfect. So just like everything else in life, okay, like any sport, like any academic knowledge, with whether it's math, whether it's writing. Practice makes perfect, okay? It's very simple. The more that you practice, the better that you'll be. So just because you've been driving manual for a week and you're still stalling once or twice every commute, it's not a big deal. Keep practicing. I can promise you that you'll get to the point where you'll stall like once every 5 years. So just keep practicing and it will get better and better. Your upshifts will be better, your downshifts will be better, your starting in first will be better, your smoothness will be better, your clutch control, your hill starts, everything will improve as you drive manual more and more. Tip number 7, don't worry about stalling. Now, I know a lot of people are worried about stalling. First and foremost, stalling a car doesn't really cause much wear and tear to it. Cars are designed to stall to prevent them from being damaged. So stalling is actually better than not stalling. If a car couldn't stall, then what would happen is it would start significantly getting some wear and tear. So don't worry about stalling, okay? It's as simple as that. You're gonna probably stall. Like I can say with 99% certainty that you're gonna stall at least 10 or 20 times when you're learning how to drive manual. It's just what happens. And with that being said, don't worry about it because you're not the only one stalling. And if you're stalling on the road and people are looking at you, don't worry about it because you're learning how to drive manual and they're not. That's why they're not stalling, because if they were learning how to drive manual, they would be stalling too. It's as simple as that. Tip number 8, eliminate all distractions. You don't want to be distracted. Learning how to drive manual requires a lot, okay? It requires your left foot, your right hand, and your left hand to all be controlling something pretty much at the same time. So with that being said, every limb is doing something, and you don't want to add in another thing to think about. So just eliminate all distractions, okay? Turn your phone off, turn your phone off. Only drive with yourself and whoever is teaching you how to drive manual. Don't carry like 3 friends in the back seat because they're going to distract you. Do it on a side street or a parking lot where there's no other cars or pedestrians. Just eliminate all distractions. Okay, tip number 9 is make sure that you secure the car when you turn it off, okay? So I cannot tell you the number of times that I've seen people get out of a manual car and all of a sudden it starts to roll backwards or forwards. Just double check that you secured the car, okay? Literally, like when you're probably gonna leave it in gear and pull the parking brake, okay, the handbrake. And you just want to make sure, just take a fraction of a second, check that you left it in gear and check that you engaged the parking brake or the handbrake. It's as simple as that. And just make sure that you do that before you leave the car, because you don't want to come outside of your house and you see your car in the middle of the road because it rolled down the driveway in the middle of the night. I've seen that happen. It's not pleasant, it's not funny, it's not fun, it's not safe. So just double check that you secured the car before you exit the car. Last but not least, tip number 10 is to learn the shift pattern in the car. Now every car has a different shift pattern. It's basically a mixture of, where you need to move your hand when you shift. Some cars have the reverse gear in a certain location, and other cars have the reverse gear in another location. Some cars have long shifts, other cars have shorter shifts. Some cars have wider shifts, like from second to third. Other cars have not so wide shifts, narrower shifts. You just want to know the shift pattern. So before you get on the road and you start shifting, what you want to do is you want to just learn that shift pattern. Go through the gears, hold the clutch down, go through the gears, figure out where everything is, and you'll be in a much better position when you learn how to drive manual. And that's basically it. In this video, I have told you 10 tips for learning to drive a manual car. These tips are designed to help you when you're learning to drive a manual car, but they're also designed to help even experienced manual drivers become better drivers at driving a manual car. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.